Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric with Jim Andes. I'm going to talk to you today about a new feature on my site, on my blog, and I'm trying to rework the site a little bit just to make it a little bit more user-friendly. I'm going to have some static pages with links that take you to all the posts about what it is that I'm talking about, or all of the same topic. Today I'm starting this video with Know Your Patagonian Guide, because as I've mentioned before, here in Puerto Varas, for instance, especially this area of Puerto Varas, but in all Patagonia, you have a ton of guides that you can choose from. And some are worth the price and some aren't. So I'm trying to help you guys figure out who and who isn't worth the price that you're paying. A couple of weeks back, I was up on Osorno just looking around and trying to get some information about skiing and the ski lifts and things like that. And while I was up there, I was introduced to the park ranger who's been there about 23 years. Talking to him, he mentioned a guide to me that he said would be one of the few that he would suggest as being a good guide, which if a park ranger suggests a guide, I have to kind of take that into consideration as being something seriously important. The park rangers have to go over all the gear. They have to say yes or no, you can go up with this guide, because evidently there are some guides that if they come up with clients, he just says I don't feel comfortable with them and says you have to go back down the mountain, you can't continue with this guide. I'm trying to avoid those guides. I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody. I'm just trying to highlight the good guides. And because of the park ranger giving the suggestion of this guy, I went and I contacted him and we had an interview. It was just something very informal. I spoke to him a little bit and I found out some information. The video is just a very brief overview of that, and you can find more about how he thinks and that kind of stuff on the written post, so I suggest that you truly look at that. The reason I'm doing this though is because here in Puerto Varas, a very common thing is to have a guide for just about anything. And depending on each person, you may or may not want that. So I suggest that you go to my site and check out the post about do I need a Patagonian guide. And I'll put a link in this post to that so that you can make a decision. But today we're going to talk about Javier Pinto, who is a local, and he's climbed and been guiding for about 14 years. He's climbed longer than 14 years. But he's climbed in the States, he's climbed in Ecuador, and he's climbed in some other countries in South America as well. He's familiar with the volcanoes in the local area, the three most common, Calbuco, Osorno, and Yate. He does mainly focus on the normal mountaineering as well as the normal summiting of Osorno, Yate, and Calbuco. Not to say you can't do other things. You'd need to consult him if you want to do a specific tour, like if you want to go up a first ascent or anything like that. I'm not saying he can't do it. I didn't really get into that with him. You need to talk to him about that, and I'll put his contact information in my post. The volcanoes here, even the common routes, are dangerous. So if you don't do them right, so you need to make sure that you're well prepared, you have the right gear, and you have a guide. So I really suggest that you look into Javier Pinto. Like I said, he comes with high recommendations, and he's a very nice guy. He spoke to me in the whole interview in English, and I felt comfortable with him, which is a good thing. He truly is bilingual. That's not to say that other people who say they're bilingual aren't, but I have met some who say they're bilingual, and if I had to put my life in their hands, I wouldn't really feel comfortable. So that's why I'm suggesting Javier, because he does seem like a solid person who can speak English well and has definitely got some technical abilities to him from what I've heard. I haven't taken a tour with him. I might go ice climbing with him in the future, and if I do, I'll let you know. But I have been told that he's a very good guy. That he's very focused on the safety techniques and making sure that people do things technically correct. So he did tell me that he has gear for about 12 people, so that means that you have options in the gear. He can only guide with 2 people at a time. So that's not just him, that's any Chilean guide. You can only have 2 people at a time. If you have a third person, you have to pay for another guide. He's saying that It's about 180,000 pesos per person to tour with him. That's including all equipment and everything. And that's on a basic guide or a basic tour that he does in one day. That's about 360 to 400 bucks a person. If you have your own gear, that price will go down a little bit. He does have trusted friends who he will guide with if you do have more than 2 people to your party. And not only that, recently he started dealing with some of his friends, and they're starting up a business where they do canyoning, mountaineering, rock climbing, and cycling. So he can actually help you out with other things too if you're not just into mountaineering. And he does get involved with some of the other aspects such as canyoning and mountain biking, and he does do some of the climbing as well. So he's a good all-around guy. He knows his stuff is what I've been told, and so I really suggest contacting him if you have any questions or whatever. That's not to say that I'm not going to suggest other guides. I am there. It's just I interviewed him first, and so we're starting off with him. And you can find all of his information on my site, even a website that he's getting together with his friends, and you can see more about that, or you can contact him if you have any questions. And then on the written portion of this post, I will make sure that there's a little bit more information about why he guides and that kind of stuff, and some suggestions he gave for people who are coming to do mountaineering here and use the volcanoes. So hope this was informative to you guys, and hope you guys enjoy this, and talk to you guys later. Bye.